The things they don't warn you about when you are done playing the sport that you've been playing for your whole entire life. If you've explored my page, I played softball, as you do know, at the University of Sioux Falls, Goku, and I loved my life. It was a great time. I honestly would rate it a 10 out of 10. I had so much fun. And throughout my whole entire career, like I've played softball since I was 7 years old. And then obviously I graduated and now I'm done 2 years post grad and I'm doing also very good. But I think there should be more warnings on how your life is going to go after you graduate because nobody talks about that. So we'll just go through a list of just a few things that I know I had to learn after graduating that was kind of tough, but you'll get through it. I went through it. I still am going through it. And I feel like I'm overall a pretty optimistic person, but I'm also realistic. And the honest truth is that it gets better. Starting with number one, allowing yourself rest when you were basically taught your whole entire life to be productive all of the freaking time. This was a foreign concept to me because I deemed my worth with how busy I was. And I was always busy. You know, if I had a break, I'd be like, well, shoot, maybe I should go hit off the tee or maybe I should call a friend and see if they want to pitch me front toss. Like, I always found ways to fill the gaps in my schedule. And it was always working towards like a central goal. And so if I wasn't doing it, then I felt like I was like, well, am I being lazy? And so then I wouldn't allow myself rest. It was the same with balancing school or balancing a social life. Like, I always had to be doing something. And now that I'm graduated, guess what? After 5, when I'm done with work, I don't have to do anything. So that's also a very bad thing, but it's also a good thing. You know, like there could be either or because I feel like I've ran into a few people who were athletes and now they're like not doing anything because they don't have hobbies. But there's a lot more struggle, I think, with people who feel the need that they have to be doing something or maybe are codependent or always feel like they have to be with friends because we were, trained with our friends. So, one reminder that I love to tell myself is you can't be productive if you're not allowing yourself rest, which kind of sounds contradictory because, like you think productivity, you think you have to be doing something all the time. And that was taught. And like, even when I was getting raised by my parents, I love my family, but we were a family where it's like, if you're laying down, you're lazy. And so now that I live on my own and I'm like not attached to anything, I feel like when I'm laying down, I still beat myself up, but what I've been working on is like, well, how is tomorrow's version of me going to benefit from trying to do something when I don't want to? Or like, like this doesn't apply to working out or anything because I do have discipline still. Like there's a difference. Like even if I don't want to, I'm still going to go because it's instilled in me that I need to and it's part of my routine and I'll feel off for the rest of my day. So, like that's different. But I do think like I have a bunch of hobbies, for example, and I feel like I need to be doing something all the time because I'm like, well, I have all this, like I have to be doing something. Guess what, girl? You don't have to. And it's fine if you don't because it's not the end of the world and nobody's losing their minds over you not doing anything. It is just your own anxiety. Give yourself a rest. You finally earned it. Take advantage of that said rest. Number two, making friends. This whole entire time, you've been basically hand fed friends since you started sports. And I think that was a very hard thing to realize because I was like, wow, like, yeah, I have my work buddies, but like, who else? And so I had to go outsourcing for friends. And I'm an extrovert, so it was fine at the end of the day. Like, I will be able to make friends. But I do think it was kind of hard because it's like, wow, like, I've always had one central thing that, like, was connecting all my friends. It was like, oh, we play softball. Cool. We have the same schedule and the same, like, clothes and everything. Like, we all bonded over something. And so navigating that, especially in your 20s, is like it's probably the hardest thing you got to do is make friends. But guess what? At least everyone in our age group is probably struggling with it. So if you ever see, like people that you're interested in, I'd say pull the trigger and go and meet them. Like it is a little bit harder, but and that's why I always suggest like getting hobbies, which I'll get into that later, but having hobbies and things to pull out of your back pocket of like, "Oh, you like doing that too? I do." Like that's awesome. We have something in common. Like people love sharing experiences and sharing like what they love with other people. So don't be afraid to go out of your bubble and meet people who, maybe have the same hobbies, maybe have the same passions. Like there's so many good people that you're left to meet, and I always have to remind myself that because like I do still get the jitters of like going up to people and being like, do they want to be my friend? Like is this intrusive? Like it's fine. Making friends is like the rest of your life thing, and you don't need to make best friends. Like you've probably already made plenty of great friends due to athletics, but you do need friends. So it'll be fun to just navigate that, and I wish you the best of luck because honestly, I think there are ways to make friends, but you kind of have to get out of your comfort zone to do that. I don't have much to say on that, but that is one thing that I had to navigate post grad, post athletics. Number three, like I mentioned, having hobbies. This is so, so important as you graduate or as you get out of college athletics, get out of, high school athletics, get out of club ball, whatever it is. Having hobbies saved me. It's still tough to navigate life once you're done, but I do think it's so much easier when you already have passions like that you have been participating in, that you've actually been applying yourself to for a while because guess what? Now you get to do more of that. You get to do things that you actually want to do. I'm not saying I didn't want to play softball, but I am saying like sometimes it was nice to just distract myself from everything and go on a walk, go, lifting. I love working out. I still love working out. I don't know why I said that in the past tense, but I found other hobbies because I knew that softball wasn't going to be my life forever. And I would say that for anybody who maybe hasn't been done with this and are just preparing themselves, find hobbies before you're done so that you're not spiraling after. You get to bond with people who maybe have shared hobbies. You also just grow as a person because the more things that you know, I stand by being a jack of all trades, the more that you can apply what you know to other things like work, like, more schooling or whatever it is, like you're able to apply so much more because you've learned so much more. Definitely build your hobby portfolio and try new things because most things that like even I do as hobbies, they were like on sale or it was just something that like I picked up and was just like, wow, like I want to do more of this. Like there's a lot of things that are cheap that you can do. Not every hobby is like photography where like like that you're easily dropping over $1,000 bare minimum on photography gear, but like that was my first instinct, I guess, to think. Or even music, like that's not very cheap. Being very into vinyls, I spent way too much money because my first big girl like internship, I dropped hella money on my vinyls, but we're here now and I'm fine financially. But I think a lot of things that you can do are very cheap and you should definitely explore that because what is there to lose? If anything, you gain a little party trick or you get a little fun fact out of it. Number four, and I personally didn't struggle with this, but I see it all the time, is this competitiveness that you aren't able to take against people. I see it just because there's some people that are competitive with like life or competitive with other things when it comes to like normal face thing, you know what I mean? Like it's just like you're seeing them and you know that they're trying to compete for something, but it's just like I just don't get it because like I'm not a competitive person against other people. Like I'm more competitive for myself. Like I know that I need to beat the next version or like be there. How am I supposed to be there? I'm supposed to beat the current version and like keep moving. Like that's my take on competitiveness is that you'll always have that, but you should be able to direct it towards yourself. Like that should be part of your like self development is like how can I be the next best version of myself? And like I do think that it's hard as an athlete because you've always been competing against other people, but if you were like a true athlete and you were in it for the love of the game, I think like when I was competing, I wasn't really competing against people like in general. I was saying like thinking I was competing against people like me. Like I was competing against myself. I was like How can I bat better this game than I did the last game? And like there's a constant growth there, and I do think that competitiveness is a very good thing and it shows very well, especially in jobs, for example. But there's a way to control your competitiveness to just focus on you versus outward competitiveness where you're competing against people who aren't even competing against you. Whole thing there is that now that you're done being an athlete, people don't care that much about what you're up to. Like honestly, like I take that as a very good thing because there's not that many nosy people. Like nobody's asked me like, "Oh, what are you up to? What are you doing?" Like people are just genuinely curious on like what I'm up to, not like in a what is she doing and like how is she getting better and like in a competitive way. I'd say it's more like, huh, I wonder what Damaris is really up to. Like I don't know. And so yeah, that was just my 2 cents on competitiveness, I guess, but that is something that you need to drop when you graduate is that you don't have to compete against people anymore. You get to compete against yourself, which is a good thing anyways. Number 5, and this is easily my I don't know, it might be second favorite thing after hobbies to talk about, but it's how you take care of yourself after you're done with athletics. If it's one thing that everybody knew about me for a while was that I didn't really stretch before lifting, for example. And that is still kind of prevalent because honestly, I will admit right now that I don't really stretch my upper body at all before I do any kind of upper body workout. Like I go straight to 135 on a bench and I'm just like, yeah, we're good. Or I do like a few reps of like the bar and then I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling good. So that's one little fun fact about me. One of the worst things I learned was that I cannot eat like an athlete after I'm done playing sports. And that was just really really hard to learn because I used to eat whatever I wanted and it was fine. Now, I actually have to pay attention to what I need to eat. And like I mean that in a even like nutrient based thought process there because like I didn't really eat that much protein. I ate like a lot of carbs because I needed to get through 2 games in a day or I need to get through a hard practice in a lift and then another practice after that. Like I just needed food in general. Now that I'm out, I'm like, okay, wait, did I get enough protein? Did I like and maybe lifting and figuring out my lifting schedule after graduation helped a lot because like I still work out pretty heavily and squat as if I need to still hit home runs. But and I've also will say like I'm honestly lifting more weights than I ever did in college. Like very confidently I can say that I've gotten a lot stronger post grad, but that's just because I get to only focus on lifting and I don't have to focus on like agility or like things like that. Like I do still, and I guess I still do cardio. Of course I do, but it's not to the stretch of like doing catcher's workouts or doing, 60-second drills or whatever the heck it was. I forgot, but it was hard. Or running around the field. Like there was no 220 and back post grad. So now you actually have to pay attention to what you're fueling your body with, how you're treating your body as well, but also how you're resting. And like that goes back to rest, where are you allowing yourself enough rest? Are you allowing yourself enough sleep? You don't have to wake up at the crack of dawn anymore. And if you like that, that's great. But personally, I finally realized like earlier this year that I'm not like an early riser. Like I don't really I get the midday crash, and so what solved it was sleeping in a little bit longer. And that's something that you learn with time, but it is something that you should be paying attention to as soon as you graduate. Like, how do I sleep? How do I thrive best? How are you treating your body? Are you stretching? That was one thing I've added probably like 2 months ago is doing more yoga. And it's helped me a lot. Like my back pain's gotten a lot better, but like that alone even stretching now before leg days. I do that now. So be proud of me. I will say that was a really big change. But like I stretch. I go on walks a lot. I still get my steps in. I still go to the gym all the time. And like I now ride my bike around town, which is lovely. I love my bike. But like there are so many ways to make your body feel good and you're used to it. That's the thing. You're used to doing something. So don't just stop cold turkey just because you're done. I'd say find an outlet that's good for you, whether that be like Pilates. Like that's something that seems really awesome. Do that. Running. Like whatever you really want to do for your body, you get to do that now. Like you don't have to lift. I feel like I just loved lifting, so I kept it in my routine. Like you don't have to do that though. Like it is suggested though, like there's a lot of like really big studies that you should be lifting some kind of weights in your life, especially for women. But I'm not going to influence you on lifting weights. I think it is the best routine ever and I love lifting weights, but I'm not here to influence you on that. I'm here to make sure that you're taking care of yourself because you don't want to end up like, like when I think of like retired athletes, I envision like uh, a man who is still stuck in their high school football days and they're just chugging beer all the time and whatever, like not caring about what they're eating anymore, like all that, like letting themselves slip through. And I'm not saying it's bad to be looking a certain way, like that's not what I'm saying at all, but I am saying that it is important to keep taking care of yourself because, you know, you did so well. Why not keep it rolling? Like you have the privilege of an athletic build. More than likely, you are built athletically. So keep that up so that, you're athletic for the rest of your you can play catch with your future kids, like things like that. Like think futuristic here. Do you want to, be able to do all the cool stuff that, I don't know. Like I don't know how to word that right. But point is just take care of yourself, which goes hand in hand with my sixth and final point is taking care of your mental health. You are going to be alone a little bit more and you're going to have to spend more time in your thoughts than you initially planned for. If you're not cool with hanging out with yourself, start getting cool with it because, it's you at the end of the day. It's you and you. And so, if you're not comfortable with being alone, I find that is a really big problem, especially in your 20s. Like, that's somewhere where you get to navigate that. But if you're still codependent and you still need other people to validate you, other people to, like be there for you physically, like be there all the time with you to go grocery shopping or whatever simple task it is, I think what helps a lot is one, like maybe seeing a therapist, but also like personally, I didn't struggle with that. Like I loved being alone. That was something that like I was very comfortable with and I still am very comfortable with. But if you're not able to be alone, find ways to be alone, figure it out on your own. Like that is something that is so important. And also in essence, like that'll help you know what you need to do in order to feel your best mentally. My routine consists of like reading, journaling, doing my hobbies. Like this is good for my mental health. Like it feeds me rather than drains me. So like finding ways that you can feed yourself mentally is very important, especially when you're hit with such a drastic change. It's also very fun to navigate because like I have my story on my freaking YouTube channel about my big depression and I was still suffering through it with people around me. So it was a very different story and I was able to hide that very well. But I do think in my life right now, without that struggle, I don't think I would be as like grateful for where I'm at. Like, and I'm not saying you should be depressed to feel that way, like at all. But like I learned a lot from that experience because I needed to be able to like be with people. And so I needed to push for that. But I also would be drained if I was only with a bunch of people. And so like trying to figure that out, what's the best for my mental health? I don't know, it's still a struggle because now I have to like force myself to meet people and like force myself to be outside, which is crazy because like before I was like, oh my god, I live with roommates. I want to be alone. Like, oh my gosh. And now that I'm alone, I'm like, shoot, I probably should see people and not be like cooped up. Like, and so that's been a fun thing. But like for my mental health, like it's been great. Like I love being alone. It works out because more than half the day I'm out and about anyways. Like I'm always talking to people and I'm always around people I know and like I love people. Like I do love people. I'm an extrovert. I love people. But also that big part of me that is introverted, it's like not even introverted, I guess. It's just it's a drain. Like there, there's a point that it reaches where it's like draining, and like trying to figure that out has been really awesome. But my mental health matters a lot to me, and it should to you as well. So what makes you feel good? What do you need to do more of in order to feel your best? Like that is something that you get to navigate once you're done with sports, a little bit heavier than when you were in sports. Like that, you just needed to maintain like being afloat at that rate. But like now, you get to do whatever you want for the most part. And like with that time, like, are you taking care of yourself or are you catering to other people? Are you relying on other people for your happiness? Like, really figure out what makes you happy and you get that time. That's my list of 6 things that seem to stick out a lot when it comes to athletics and what they don't warn you about. The most productive you'll be is when you give yourself rest, take care of your body, take care of your mind. Don't be afraid to make friends, find new hobbies, and you'll be ready to go. Like I think those are the 6 things that like they don't warn you about. And now that I'm post grad and this confident in my life, I feel like this is just an overall reminder to you that everything will be okay. It's not the end of the world. The world's not set on fire just because something big happened in your life. The earth still spins. So whatever you do, chill out. You have so much time to figure everything out. Thank you so much for watching. Peace and love.